the top 5 calibers to stockpile for SHTF. This is covered a lot. So I'll talk about the 5 that I recommend. Then I'm going to go into 5 alternates. So stand by for the alternates. But 5 top calibers that I recommend you stockpile. First off, number 1, you guys are going to know this one. Hands down, 22 long rifle, right? I mean, come on. It is very, very useful. But why 22 per se? In my mind, why 22? Other than the fact, well, part of the fact is that it's inexpensive. And you can still get it fairly inexpensively. I just picked up, what was it, a 333 round brick at Walmart the other day for $21. They also had, and it was the auto match. They also had the Winchester Super X there for 300 rounds for $40-something. I don't know why it was that much more expensive for fewer rounds, other than it was like their PowerPoint, you know, maybe a better quality projectile. I don't know. I don't really care for a lot of the, just put it that way. The auto match I think is better stuff, especially if you're running in a 22 conversion and an AR. But anyway, okay, price, availability, and so let's go into usefulness. How useful is 22? Small game hunting, yep. Throw a conversion in an AR, tactical training, in close environments. Obviously not, you're not talking 200-300 yards, obviously. But if you're running like a CQB course or something like that, you can effectively use it. Plinking, just general getting used to a firearm. How it shoots, teaching also, teaching others that are new to firearms is a good way to use 22. You can carry a lot, weight. You can carry a lot of 22 on you. A lot of people talk about it as a survival round. You know, for small game hunting, when you're out and doing the things, sure, yeah, squirrels, rabbits, such. Maybe birds if they stay put and you're good enough shot. Yes, what about if you're on a homestead type place and you need to dispatch your game? You need to dispatch a chicken, a turkey, maybe a goat. If you did, you want to get a clean kill. So maybe 22 isn't the best for some of those, but it might work. So those are, I guess, the main reasons why I recommend 22 long rifle. Number 2, well, this isn't actually in order. Handgun would be 9mm. It's the most available cartridge on planet Earth for handguns. So why not 40 or 45? Those are great too. Obviously, I just standardize 9mm. It's easier for me to standardize. Do I have other calibers? Sure. But I like standardizing a 9mm. Availability of ammunition is a little bit more difficult. Price of ammunition obviously is more than 22. It has decent capabilities. And if you are placing proper shots, it's effective. Put it that way, period. 9mm is fine. Price versus other rounds is a little bit lower. Availability, I'm not sure. It depends on your area. Effectiveness, yes. Round capacity, higher than 40 or 45. So you carry more rounds. So a lot of people say, well, it takes more rounds. Well, no, it doesn't. Not if you have proper shot placement. So that's negated. And new rounds, new bullets, like my favorite is Critical Duty. Plus P, 135 grain, good round. Okay, 9mm, yes. 5.56. I mean, that's a no-brainer. AR and 5.56. Is it the best round? No, it's not. Of course it's not. Are there limiting factors? Yes, there is. It's a 22 on steroids. Put it blunt. You know? Does it have knockdown power? No, it doesn't. Does it have go through stuff power? Yeah. Does it have go into stuff, bounce around, do a lot of damage power? Yes, it does. That's what it's designed to do. Availability? a little more difficult. Compared to a lot of other rounds, lighter, you can carry more rounds. Magazine capacity is better in some situations. All in all, it is a good cartridge and one of the most widely available cartridges and used cartridges in the United States. So that's another reason. Okay, enough about that. 308, 7.62 by 51. Yes. Why? Because you can use it in a bolt gun. You can use it in a main battle rifle. It is a very useful cartridge. I'd say it's about a 7.8. I'd say it's an 800 yard cartridge. Can it go further? Yes, it can. But it is, it's fairly effective within those ranges. Most people are not effective even out to that far because they don't have enough time to train and to learn how to properly engage at those distances. So, big game hunting round, yes. Dispatching animals, yes. Defensive round, if you have it in an MBR, main battle rifle, then yes, that it's an effective engagement round. Or a precision rifle designated marksman role, yes. Very, very widely available. NATO cartridge. You notice all these are NATO cartridges with the exception of the 22 and the next one I'm going to talk about. And actually the next one I'm going to talk about is also used by NATO. It's a good round. It does what it needs to do. All right, so enough. 308. 12 gauge. Of course, 12 gauge shotgun. Very, very useful. Game hunting, using slugs and or buckshot. Small game, birds, people go bird hunting with shotguns. They go deer hunting with shotguns. Small game hunting with shotguns. Using bird shot. It all depends on this type of shot you're using and or slugs, etc. Very, very useful round. Home defense, also, that ubiquitous rack in a shotgun scares the hell out of most people, especially if it's an untrained to some thug coming in, you're trying to break into your house or break into your vehicle or steal something from your property. Yeah, very useful firearm. Is it useful tactically? Well, in a limited situation. But we're not going to go into that. But 12 gauge, yep, stockpile it. Because in a variety of different, bird shot, buckshot, different sizes and stuff like that. Slugs, yes. So I recommend that. But anyway, those are the standard that I hear. I don't really watch YouTube that much, obviously, but because I don't have time. I have a feeling those are the same cartridges that most people are saying are the top 5 cartridges. So, better information, maybe, since you've probably heard this time and time again. I probably didn't give you any new information, and I apologize to that. It's just those are the 5 that make the most sense, so that most people are probably telling you the same 5. So let's go on 5 alternate calibers. 22 Magnum. Why? Almost the same reasons as the 22. Just a little more expensive. But you got a little more power also. A little more capability with it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'd say 22 Magnum would be a good alternate caliber to Stockpile. Okay, moving on from that. Pistol. Oh, and I'm back and forth on this one. 40 or 45. I guess I would probably say 40 maybe in the United States, just due to, I think it's probably more available, more widely used than the 45 now. If you would have gone back in time 10, 15, maybe 20 years ago, I would have said 45. But there's a lot more 40 out there also. A lot of law enforcement agencies use 40. So you should be able to you got decent mag capacity, you've got good damage capability, stuff like that. I don't know if you guys know this, but how the 40 Smith & Wesson came about. Well, back when the FBI wanted a more powerful cartridge, they came up with, or they didn't, but somebody came up with the 10 millimeter. But then that was a lot of power for some people. A lot of people didn't like it. They couldn't handle the power. So what they did is they kept on dumbing down the powder load. They got to the point where they're like, okay, yeah, we can handle this. And then their manufacturer's like, well, why have a cartridge that's this long when we only need a cartridge this long for the powder charge? So they just cut the cartridge down from the 10 millimeter, 40 Smith & Wesson, voila, dumbed down 10 millimeter, or wussified 10 millimeter if you want to go there. I would much prefer having a 10 millimeter, personally. But the availability of firearms, magazines, etc., I say 40, I guess, because it's more widely available, it's more commonly used, and it just kind of makes more sense. Okay, rifle. This is a tough one. I would have to say 270 would be a good one to stockpile, and or 30-06. Very widely available, commonly used for deer hunting, elk hunting in the United States, maybe not so much elk hunting, but large game hunting. Availability, weapon systems, but you don't have the ability to run them in an MBR, main battle rifle, and a bolt gun. You're stuck to basically bolt guns. But if you're looking for a good large game hunting rifle, survival rifle, designated marksman rifle, sniper rifle, then those should do well to fill that need. So actually, I guess I'd go with the 270 as a primary recommendation, because that would be then, or actually, I'm sorry, stop, halt. I'm trying to fill the same roles. So 22, 9mm handgun, battle rifle. So if you're not going a semi-auto battle rifle, you're going to go lever gun. Uh-oh. My little girl just fell over. I got to go check on her. Okay, she just crashed on her bike and needed daddy hug for a minute. Anyway, okay, so 30-30, lever gun. You can run 45-70 also, but I would go, okay, 22 Magnum, 30-30, because it's a fairly useful round. Are you going, or am I going to go into a tactical situation with a 30-30? If I had to, sure. I wouldn't choose to, though, no. But 30-30, so 22 Magnum, 30-30, 270, and then let me see, so let's go in a longer range capacity. So I would go either 30-06 or maybe a 7mm Remington Magnum, or even a 300 Win Mag. So let me think about that. I would say no on the 30-06. I would say 7mm Remington Magnum is what I would go with, because it's a very flat shooting trajectory. You have good long range capability with it, good accuracy, good availability. Price is up there, yeah, because it's a Magnum cartridge. It is, but it's much more capable of doing what you need to do and having it perform at distances. So, 7mm Remington Magnum. On to the next one, 20 gauge. Obviously, that's the most common shotgun round other than 12 gauge. Some people like 20 gauge because less recoil, stuff like that, and it's still fairly effective. So you can do most things that you can do with a 12 gauge with a 20 gauge. Is it as effective? No, it's not. But these are alternate calibers. So let's wrap it up. Let's go over it. We got 22 Magnum, or let's start over. Primary cartridges. You got 22 long rifle, 9mm, 5.56, 308 or 7.62 by 51, NATO, and 12 gauge. Common sense. Probably everybody says the same thing. But then alternate calibers. 22 Magnum, 30-30, 270, 7mm Remington Magnum, and 20 gauge. I feel that those 5 alternate calibers would still give you a fairly decent chance of being successful in an SHTF scenario. Are they the best? No, not even close. Neither one of them are, really. But most of us don't have just money to throw around and all this caliber specialization, hand loading, the perfect round and all this stuff like that. We just have to run what we run, standardize within ourselves and within our teams, our groups, our mags, our teams, our tribes, all these kind of things, which I highly recommend you get. But anyway, please subscribe, please hit the like button, please comment below, and ring the little notification bell. All these little things help with the algorithm, help us reach more people, empower more people, teach more people about preparedness, which you should want. and I want for sure, but you should want also, because the more people out there that have at least a base level of preparedness are the fewer threats that you're going to have to deal with in an SHTF scenario. You have fewer people coming for your food and my food to try to feed their families because they are prepared. So please spread the word. Like I said, share the videos, tell people about the channel, tell people about all the other awesome prepper channels. A lot of other awesome prepper channels out there also. It's not only me. I'm just one person just talking. Anyway, I love you guys. And if you want to, check out the links in the description below. Patreon, we're doing lots of good things over there. Exclusive, you want to be one of the cool guys on Team AP, then join us there. It's $1 a month. I mean, come on, that's nothing. Also check out My Patriot Supply, preparewithap.com, link in the description below. You get discounts on the Ready Hour Foods, the 25-year shelf life buckets. Great way to go. Not the only way to go, but a good part of your food storage plan. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day, and blessings to you and yours.